Well, it's time to take you around the world of sport again on Trust TV. On the show, 360 Sport, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, lots to talk about, but we just have to look at the Nigerian Lady Dtigress. They will be doing exploit at the World Cup, and that particular draw has been made. Now Nigeria knows where they belong. The first will be looking at where Dtigress to face France, Canada, Australia, three others in Group B. That's where they belong, and they will be showcasing their talent there at the World Cup. Well, 6 teams. And Nigeria and Dtigress, will they be able to qualify? Will they be able to at least make the top 4? That's the first story we'll be looking at. Joining me in the studio is Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Good morning, Adeni. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, before we link Queen Mosef in Lagos, let's quickly talk about the ladies. In the group that we are right now, we have Group B, we have Nigeria. That's the host nation, Australia, alongside France, Canada. And we've met France during the qualifiers, and it was a tough one. We beat them just by 2 points. And that particular fight will happen again over there in Australia, in Sydney precisely. Do you see our ladies qualifying? Yeah,
I see them qualifying. And because if you look at the qualifying stages, and after they played the first match and they lost, we were like, what happened to the Tigress? But they got themselves during the second match against France. So beating France, even if it is by 1 point, it is 3 points that really matter at the end of the game. So I don't see any reason, or I don't have any fear why they cannot qualify from the group. We can still beat France again. We can beat Australia, the host country also. So we're not going there with any pressure. We are going there as an underdog. And you know what happens when you are playing the game of sport and you are going for the competition as an underdog. You spring surprises. So I'm very confident we are going to qualify.
If we're still talking about Nigeria and Dtigress, it's going to be a big one because looking at the fact that our ladies, they qualify, they really fought for it after defeating France and Mali, despite losing their first game, and now they will be playing.
We are going to the World Cup to make not only Nigeria proud, but to make the continent proud. What do we need? We need the psyche of the players. What we need now is adequate preparation. What happens? You are not a loser. For qualifying alone, it shows that you are a winner. So go in there, play your game without any pressure. I think with that, we'll spring another surprise again.
Okay, see, looking at the ladies, it's a wonderful one. At least they made it to the World Cup, and we want to see them making the top 4 there. Our 6 in the group, 12 teams qualifying for the tournament, hopefully. Now, let's link Queen Mosef in Lagos, a basketball buff, who will be telling us concerning the chances of Nigeria and Dtigress in Lagos. Queen Mosef, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Let's look at the chances of Nigerians Dtigress at the World Cup coming up in Australia. Do you see our team scaling through in this tough group?
It's a very tough group. Let's be realistic. I won't be one to just be carried away about our chances and our recent preparation and performance. But I think the girls can do it. Looking at our previous and recent meetings and also performance in the last few years. Ever since 2018, we've been consistent on the continent and even the world. Even though we've gotten, but at least the girls have always proved that this is a game they can go out there to win. They don't just go there to just play. They go to compete wherever you are, whether you are the United States, you are Serbia, you are France. They go there to compete, and that is one good thing about them. And one good thing going for them is the team spirit and spirit, never giving up attitude, always go out there to fight and then play. So, but it's a very, very tough group, no doubt about it. I think we have a good chance, I would say, if we do the right thing. And what do I do that? Look at the what we did at the Olympics. We didn't even win a game because part of that tournament build up was nothing about from one protest, not practicing, on bounces, bad the team, the issue of having the Ogumikes play or not the final roster. So a whole lot of things went wrong with the team. So going to, I think we have a chance. So if we cut all of this aside, with a good preparation, even with the qualification for the World Cup, the girls didn't really prepare. But they used the first game, the game against China, as a preparatory game for the game against France against Mali. So, but we can get our things right. stick to the same coach, stick with him, stick with the same players, and then we have the likes of Eze Carlo because much of the work was on Promise Amokamara during the qualifiers. And then have a poster player like Evelyn Akato. We've missed her, even though we've always gotten the job done. But we need size, and we need that player who can always, who is always good at of the floor. And then we also should not have our MBBF house order because a lot is still going wrong off the court in the boardroom politics. So, but if we can get all of this right, I think we have a good chance. Let me take a look at the teams. Yes, you want to look at which team can we really beat at the World Cup. When we went to the 2018 World Cup, nobody gave the Dtigress. It was like it was over for them. But at the end of the day, they only lost Australia in the group stage. They beat Argentina and then Turkey, got to the qualification of the quarterfinals and defeated Greece of the later USA in the quarterfinals. But is having two groups and then you have 6 teams but different from what we have in 2018 where we had 4 groups of 16 teams. This time around we have 12, so 6 teams in each of the 2 groups. So difficult one. You want to look at the other group too. It's also a difficult one. You might say, okay, that one might have a little chance because you are seeing a team like Bosnia and Herzegovina. But let's not be too quick to go at that. Let's just focus on our group. Can we beat Serbia? Yes, we can. I'll take our mind back to our qualifiers, the Olympics, where we met Serbia in Belgrade, and our only loss was just by 6 points. And you look at the Dtigress antecedents, any team they don't lose to by much points, they go out and fight and see how they can pick a point or pick a win from that. And they've done that against USA. You also in the Olympic qualifiers with the almost USA. It just came out in the 3rd or the 4th quarter to win that one. Can we beat France? We've done ready, and we can do it again. Can we beat Japan? It might be a tough task. Yes, Japan were not a basketball nation, but them at the Olympics, they defeated the Dtigress over 15 points. Like I mentioned, the Olympics was not to write them about, so the entire Olympics was a shambles for us. So but I think they have a chance to go at Japan again. So I think our major win, realistic win, will be against Serbia and against France. But I think the game against Australia and Canada will be a difficult one because you are playing against 3 and then as in number 4, number 5 in the world. So they are like in the top. In short, all of the teams in our group, least ranked team in our group. So, but basketball is not played on paper. Anything can happen on the day. So, but I think with all handled, we do have a good chance.
Good one there from Queen Musa from Lagos. I want to appreciate your time, at least analyzing the basketball there, talking about Nigerian Dtigress chances at the World Cup coming up in Australia. Thank you very much, Queen Musa.
Thank you so much for having me.
There, well, she really broke it down, talking about our chance against France, Serbia, Japan, Canada, and Australia, the host nation. And according to what she said, that she sees Nigeria qualifying.
Okay, and what she did, it's very impressive. And she did what they call SWOT analysis, our weaknesses, and where we need to concentrate our strengths. She made mention of Canada and Serbia, that they may be a tough match for us, but we're talking about France and others, so we should concentrate on that. So that's very good coming from her. And she made mention also preparation that I've been talking about. You know, we have this mentality in the country that when a competition is going on, we don't prepare. She mentioned that their game against China at the qualifier was more like a preparation for them before they play France and Mali. That shouldn't be the case. It is when they get to probably quarterfinal that you now see
the real team.
You know, apart from the real team, you now start seeing people, government officials traveling that they want to go and motivate them. They want to go and make promises to them. All the money that we want to give them at that point, why don't you put that money in place to train and prepare them
before the tournament?
Before the tournament. Why is it only when they prove themselves that we now start talking about this is what we want to do for them? I think we need to change that mentality. Then also she made mention of something that I think it's very, very fundamental also. The crisis we have with the NBB health. because they are not happy with it. So it's like we're not doing our own work very well, but the girls are outside there making us happy. So the government should do what is right. It's still not too late. It's still not too late for them to do the right thing, like you rightly mentioned. We should do the right thing, prepare them psychologically, emotionally. The confidence is there. The way she spoke, they have the confidence. They believe that they can do it. And to even qualify for this World Cup, it's only 12 teams going to the World Cup. So we are one of the best 12 teams in the world. So that's just something. So what the job needs is encouragement and support from government and from private investors.
Look at, it's always, you must find something to, okay, either the money has not been paid or something is holding it down and all that. And it doesn't really speak well of other sports.
Yeah, it's not. Even the Super Eagles also, they have their own issues.
No, they
have their own issues.
Yes.
They have been also, I think 2 or 3 matches they are yet to pay them, that they have to send Guavon and some other government officials to travel to go and talk to the players.
These guys.
The money they will spend in traveling, why didn't they just add the money
and pay maybe 2 players?
And pay people 2 or 3 players. So I think we just need to get our priority right. And how can we get our priority right? Is by adequate preparation.
And also paying as at when due.
It's part of the preparation. Pay them. Yes, definitely. It's not a good one.
It doesn't speak well for Nigerian sportsmen and women for the fact that when they compete, they know, well, it's part of the system that they are being owed their salaries. We just have to work on this and let this be at the last time to ever happen so that we can always at least use what we have to actually achieve what we want. Away from that issue of FIBA World Cup coming up in Australia, where Nigeria and Dtigress, alongside France, Canada, Australia, Japan, and Serbia, will be fighting for the top 4 in Group B of the FIBA 2022 World Cup taking place in Australia. Now we talk about football. Let's look about what happened between Everton and the team that really, Boreham Wood came with their wood, but they were bonded with an iron coming from Everton. You just have to appreciate what they did.
No, sincerely, they did very well. They made themselves proud because they are the lowest ranked team left in the FA Cup. And they came from the national team, not even the champions team. So whatever happened, I think they've done very, very well.
They should hold their heads high.
No, they should hold it very, 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 very high. And that shows also that the game of football is changing. Sincerely, nobody believed that they will give it out the way they did yesterday against the Everton. If they have the same amount of investment, let's say 50% of what Everton they have, probably the case will not be like this. Most of them are not exposed. They don't have, if you check how much are they paying
these players.
The players, in fact, the total sum of wages, Boreham Wood, probably is not up to what they are paying Bamidele Ali alone. So, but they still gave it out, so it's a very, very good one. And that's why FA Cup is one of the most competitive competition in England. So it's a very good one. I'm happy for them.
Good one for Boreham, who, despite losing that game against Everton, they still show their class as the lowest team to play in that tournament. They tried their best, even though they did not conquer. Talking about football there, we move straight to talk about the Spanish Copa del Rey also. Match of play there. Let's look at Copa del Rey result. Rayo Vallecano against Real Betis ended 3-2 aggregate. After they played the 2 matches, Real Betis finally, they were able to drop the RV team out from they dumped them out of the Copa del Rey.
Yeah, and that's expected, honestly. And if you look at the performance and the history between the 2 teams, on paper, Real Betis, they have an edge over them. So winning them also, it's kind of, okay, we are still showing that we are still the real Betis that people are used to know. So it's a good one for them. But then for the Rayo Vallecano also, that lost. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the football competition. At least
every time you can compete.
You can still compete again. They should just go back, learn 1 or 2 lessons, the reason why they lost to them, so they can get themselves prepared against the next competition, which is coming up very soon next year.
Now, if you look at the La Liga, Copa del Rey now, finally, Atletico Bilbao has been dumped down by Valencia, and I'm sure a lot of Barcelona fans are happy that team that really dealt with us, they are out too, so that let them feel the bitter pill they've been putting people's mouths, and now they too can feel it. Atletico Bilbao so far this season at the Copa del Rey, they really tried to make a lot of statements shocking a lot of teams. And I still remember what they did to Real Madrid too. Yeah. But eventually, it was Valencia that actually held the cane and beat them out.
Yeah, what happened is probably what happened between them and Barcelona and Real Madrid is about you underrated your opponents. So that's it. So it came to them as a shock. But Valencia, they learned from what happened to to Real Madrid and Barcelona. For a team to dislodge Madrid and Barcelona, so that means the really meant business. So we have to make sure that we seriously be at our best to beat them. So it is them that made the Valencia to up their game and get more prepared.
They were complacent.
Yes, so that's actually what happened. Just like the same thing that some fans are happy, and they are happy when Middlesbrough they dealt with Tottenham after beating Manchester United, and most of them are happy now that the next draw they are facing Chelsea. They've done it with Manchester United. They've done it so they're going to deal with them. So it happens in football, and that's what we call bad belly supporters. Not real that they are
what
the
would you have
supporters.
at least said? I'm expecting that from you. Now that Middlesbrough will be facing Chelsea, they dump Tottenham Hotspur, they dump Manchester United, and now they will be facing the Blues. Do you see the Blues winning?
Okay, and when you said and that's what you expected,
yes,
it's about the reality of football.
No, at least I know that one way or the other, you still want to at least push the Blues ahead of every other team.
No. When it comes to the studio analysis, I'm not for the Blues. I'm for the football. But outside the studio, everybody has their own club that they support.
I like that, but I would remind you when you talk about Manchester. When you talk, somebody asked a question that, what's going to happen between Chelsea now that they are facing this crisis? I said, which crisis? He was saying that will be our next story anyway. Talking about Roman Abramovich and Chelsea. Let that be our focus as we take the next story right now. The person was saying, Roman says he wants to sell the club for £3 billion, and already a lot of potential buyers are beginning to come up. In fact, a particular Swiss man, a medical magnate, is coming up. Consortium buyers, and he has promised that the proceeds from that sales he will give to charitable foundation to help the Ukrainian people. But the guy now asks that, what happens when Abramovich leaves? Because his touch for all the years he has been at the aim of affairs, the passion for Chelsea has made Chelsea to achieve a lot of things. Now that he's leaving, what will happen to Chelsea?
Okay, and also the Chelsea coach made the same statement that he doesn't know what life will be after Abramovich. The truth is, Chelsea will be more stronger. Why do I say so? They are running more like a charity.
I'm smiling right now.
they are running more like a charity organization.
Why do you say they will be stronger? Okay,
that's what I'm going to. They are running more like a charity organization because of the passion that Abramovich has for the club. That's why he borrowed them almost $2 billion, and without bothering, is the passion that he has. So he's not running it the way a club should be run profitably, like the Manchester United. Despite the fact that they don't win any trophy, they are still making the highest revenue in England. Arsenal, the same thing. So now we're going to see Chelsea Football Club as a revenue-generating organization, company, not a Santa Claus way that it has been done before. So that's why I say they're going to come out stronger. If you can't fit in, you fit out. It's very, very simple. A lot of people have been coming up that they want, because who doesn't want to buy the best club in the world? Chelsea is the best club in the world. What do I mean? I'll back it up with facts.
Okay.
Who is the current Champions League holder? I'm asking you.
I'm not. Well,
no, you know.
What I'm going to do is this. What I'm going to do is, I think it's high time. It's already ticking the time that, maybe I should do it head to. It will always come on the show head to head. We bring a Man United fan to face you, or a Liverpool fan, or a Man City fan to face you. So that will be. I don't want to be biased. Let me just be the arbiter now. Let me just stay aside while I allow that to happen. So I shouldn't be the one to answer that question.
Okay, I'm using this opportunity to call on all Manchester United fans, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham to please come to our show and grace the occasion.
Seriously. Let's see if that question. Now, we reserve that question for whoever is going to come for, because I know the biggest rival you have so far. I think it's Manchester United, right?
Okay, if you say so.
Good. So I'll bring a Manchester United fan who knows his onions too. Let him face you on this. Okay, while we are still talking about Chelsea, now we look at Chelsea after Abramovich, and whoever is coming in to buy, either consulting, either individually. Do you see Chelsea having that, what do I say, that particular flair that makes a lot of people to be like, oh, this team, I just fall in love with the Blues, and things like that? Okay,
and the truth is they're going to go the way of Arsenal and the way of Barcelona. That's the truth. They're going to go through their own trying period for a year, 2 years, or 3 years before they can get it back. That's the truth. And it's going to affect them. Right now, I think it's affecting them psychologically. So it's going to take a toll on them. It's not something that it will happen overnight, that things will continue the way it used to be. So it now depends on the psyche of the players. Not only Abramovich that is leaving, one of the executives also in Chelsea, she's leaving. They call her the strong woman in football. She too, she has resigned. So a lot of people are going to leave Chelsea. So Chelsea is going to go through a lot. And that is when you know the difference between Chelsea supporters and Chelsea fans when the situation arises. But it's not going to be very easy. But 2, 3, 4 years, probably they'll get themselves back again.
Good one there. Now let's take our last straw on the show, talking about Erling Haaland, a player of Borussia Dortmund that has been met by Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez. They've met him just to convince him to sign for the Blaugranas, as they are called. Well, looking at this particular story, this young man is being courted by two biggest teams in Spain. Real Madrid wants him, Barcelona wants him, but Xavi had to he flew into Germany to meet with this young lad to convince him to play for Barcelona.
That's a very smart move from Xavi and from Barcelona. And if you ask me, honestly, I want Haaland to go to Barcelona. Mbappe already is almost going to.
So it will be balanced. So we
let's
can have Ronaldo,
let's
Messi
have
again.
Ronaldo, Messi in terms of Haaland and Mbappe again. So that's how the La Liga will go back to the glorious days when we have Messi versus Ronaldo. El Clasico is coming up very soon. Nobody heard about it again. But those days, when you have Pep Guardiola as a coach, Mourinho as a coach, still Ronaldo, Madrid, Messi as a player, El Clasico is like final of the World Cup. So they want to get that back again. So that is why they are both looking for, okay, who can we bring to attract audience, to attract supporters, and to attract the football fans to La Liga. So it's going to be a very good one. But I see Haaland going more to Barcelona, not to Real Madrid.
Okay, well, do you think if he goes to Real Madrid, that won't be, is it because of playing time or what?
Okay, I'm looking at the playing time and looking at the financial
constraint
all that. To have Mbappe, to have Haaland together on a team, we don't want to have
a lot of money.
We don't even want to have another Borussia Dortmund in La Liga, where it will only be one horse race and what have you. So we don't really want that. So I see him going, and if eventually it goes to Madrid, definitely Mbappe will think twice before going to Madrid also.
And with the tempting offer that PSG are offering Mbappe, that might actually make him stay.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. They're the highest paid player in the world.
Seriously.
Well, that's our time on 360 Sport. We just have to go now. It's been a wonderful time having Queen Mose from Lagos and also Olawale Peters here with us. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here, Adeni.
Well, we just have to appreciate your time with us. Do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Keep doing sport. It's business and fitness. Thanks for watching.